and welcome to another Natter That Matters. And today I have the very smiley and very lovely Sara Southgate, and she is known as the naturopath that you have to go to if you are in menopause, perimenopause, or just feeling really pretty shit, because of course we all know that if you're feeling rubbish, then the rest of your life doesn't feel too good either. Thank you very much for being here. Lovely to see you as always.
Yes, thank you, Viv. Yeah, it's lovely to be here. And you pretty much nailed it. You know, the people who come and see me, they're in perimenopause. They're very often business owners, and by nourishing themselves, they nourish their business as well.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
yeah,
we love the word nourish.
Yeah,
nourish is lovely, isn't it? We hear about self-care and we hear about, you know, meditations and all this sort of thing, but the nourishing thing, like it, you know, is inside and out, isn't it? So it's the physical, the emotional, the mental. So yeah, and I know you've got a program, haven't you? It's called Nourish.
It's called the Nourish Club.
Nourish Club.
So, and that is about nourishing yourself, mind, body, and spirit, really. And it is for perimenopausal business owners who, you know, they've been probably living with health niggles for quite a few years, and the doctor can't really help, and they don't want medication, or there is no solution. And then perimenopause hits, and they feel like everything's going pear-shaped, and they're trying to smash their business as well. And it's a really hard place to be. So it's about teaching them to create their own energy and vitality using food and self-care and self-nourishment. And then it is the effect it has on their life and their business as well, which is wonderful.
Identify with all of this totally. I think sometimes, I mean, obviously I coach business owners, and sometimes they come to me and they've got some what they think is mindset stuff, but actually there's some hormonal stuff going on, without a shadow of a doubt. This emotional kind of dilemma that goes on at that age of who am I, where am I going, am I doing the right thing, am I good enough? A lot of that, you know, some of it is mindset, but some of it is a whole chemical change, isn't it, where like you don't know who you are anymore. So I'm really pleased that you've got a club where people can go and realize they're not going mad for a start. That's the first thing. That's the first thing people go, oh, it's not me, I'm not crazy, there's definitely shit going on here that I should learn about. So yeah, how did you get into this then? So what's your history, Sara? How did you get into doing this?
Well, when I was 21, I was at university. I was studying German and business administration. Of all the fascinating subjects, that's what I chose. And I was going to be a businesswoman flying around Europe and being trilingual, basically. That was my dream. And then I got chronic fatigue syndrome, and it stopped my life in its tracks, and I thought my life was over, and the doctor said, I can't help you, bye, basically. You know, I was really tired, I had insomnia, I was crying a lot, I just was so unwell. I looked fine, but I was really unwell. And yeah, and you know, I had to move back in with my parents, and I finished my degree just about, and anyway, and then I was really desperate. I was really, really desperate. So I went to the crystal shop on the local high street and said, can you help me? And they went, yeah, we can. And then I started this journey in finding natural therapies, which I'd never had any interest in before. And, you know, little by little I got well. And then I read a book, which was by a naturopath, and it was everything I'd done. It was the nutrition, the food intolerance testing, the meditation, the herbal medicine, all of that. And then the universe was providing, because the first naturopathic college in the United Kingdom opened up, and I was in with both feet, basically. So yeah,
wow, one of the first. There's a nice accolade.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
What did you learn through the college that you hadn't already kind of started to do? What was the difference it made?
Well, I suppose when you're kind of dabbling in it, you don't really know what you're doing, or you're going to see a therapist and they're telling you what to do. What you learn, especially as a naturopath, your foundations are really your nutrition underpins everything, and making sure not just what you eat is good, but that your body can absorb the good stuff that you're eating, because often that doesn't happen. You know, they say that a really strong digestive system is your key to a long and healthy life, because if you can't absorb the goodness from your food, you're not going to get anywhere. So there's the nutrition, but naturopathic medicine is also a lot about lifestyle stuff. So it's all that self-care stuff, which is, you know, boundary setting, saying no, learning to keep a tight diary, learning to, so lots of things that actually, so that the way you live your life serves you and your purpose. So there's a lot of that in naturopathic medicine. And I met all these people who were Reiki masters and angel readers, and not that all naturopaths are like that, but this kind of whole section of people that I'd never been exposed to in my life, and it opened my eyes up to what all the other things, the woo woo that is out there, and that is so powerful.
It is, yeah. We hate that phrase, but we all know what it means, so we use it.
Yeah.
Which is natural alternatives and a different way. I've had a variety of people in my life, partners even, who their first go-to is pop a pill. Oh, you've got a headache, go and get a tablet. Oh, you've got a backache, have some ibuprofen or whatever you call it. And it's like, actually, no, I want my body to understand. I want my brain to know what my body's trying to tell me, because the pain is coming for a reason. The strain is coming because maybe I've got something else going on. So I think some of us more naturally like to be more natural in our thoughts around solving problems, whereas others are looking for just give me the fix, I want to carry on with it. And so how do you help people go from being one to the other? Because I'm definitely one that wants to fix things naturally, just because of what I do for a living, whereas a lot of people, I can't get into the doctors, I need to get some drugs, I need to get some antidepressants, I need to get some, I don't know, fiber gel, I need to get whatever all the stuff is that we put in our body to try and get it working right, rather than getting it right. So how do you get them to switch over? How do you get the mindset to switch?
It's so a lot of people will come out of sheer desperation, actually, because nothing is working for them, and they feel like they've got nothing to lose because they've been to their doctor and the doctor said, can't find anything. And then they've gone away and lived with it for a year, and then they've gone back to their doctor and said, I just feel really terrible. And they've run the blood tests and done a physical exam, and there's nothing there. So, some people are really desperate when they come, and they've been told, go and see Sara or go and see a naturopath. So there's that, but also a big part of what I do is it an education piece, because people don't understand that, you can clear mastitis with chamomile tea. You don't need antibiotics. In most cases, I'm not advising people to do that. You need a professional to help you with that. But, herbs and food is really powerful, and we just don't know. We just don't understand. So one of the ladies who's just done one, in the Nourish Club, she came with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, really raging arthritis. She was very overweight. She came because she wanted to lose weight. But actually, she doesn't need statins anymore. Her blood pressure is down, and she's not even noticing her joints. Wow. And that is just food. It's just food.
It's not just food, is it? That's the whole point. It's our entire fuel system. People don't understand that. I've got a friend, she'll probably watch this, she's going to hate on me, and she's a type 2 diabetic, and she seems to think, and she's been diagnosed for quite a few years now, she doesn't seem to still understand the correlation with, if I eat 3 bits of cheesecake, I'm going to feel like shit, because then I have to put more insulin in me, I have to do stuff, I have to work it out of my system. She doesn't seem to still correlate. And it's interesting because obviously my partner is a type 1 diabetic, Emma, my wife, and we belong to a few Facebook groups that are about diabetes. And I was reading it last night because I knew we were going to have this conversation. I know sugar is one of the big things. Sugar, getting that boss of that is one of the number one things you help people with. So I was just reading some of the comments, and there's people there that have been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes for 26 years and still don't know how to understand carbohydrate and what it does to their body. So the government are just not there to help people understand this, and they don't know what they don't know. They don't know where to get the help, and they don't know where to get the information. I just read these almost in absolute horror, because I understand this because I've always been trying to lose weight, really, and I understand that as soon as I start to eat sugar, everything goes out the window because it literally upsets everything, my whole physiology. So there's a lot of people that don't understand. They think, oh, it's not my fault, I can't help it, and it isn't true, is it? It's the same with mindset. They can help it. So what's the first thing that happens when someone comes to you and they're in a bit of a mess, whatever the symptoms are? What do you do? What's the first thing? How do they do that, and what do you do?
How do they do that? So, well, it starts with, they come into my group program, the Nourish Club, they'll fill out like a symptoms checker. So we always do a start and a finish, and it will just add up points for how many symptoms they're experiencing, and then it goes.
It's not about prizes, I'm assuming. It's not about getting more points.
No.
It's like, oh shit.
No. So somebody had just finished her time in the group, and she started out with 126 was her symptom score, and she'd gone down to 26.
Wow. Well, but it sounds good.
Yeah. It's just about, when you're going through, does my elbow hurt? Have I got, poor vision? Are my eyes sore? Do I ache anywhere? Do I get bloating? Do I get gas? Am I constipated? All those kinds of things happen. So it's helping people get a baseline, and then we start with a nutrition program. So it's educating people about how to eat, and it's not just eating for your waistline, because when you ask somebody, any nurse will say eat a healthy balanced diet, but that is meaningless, because you need to know actually what that is.
Exactly. If we knew what that was, we'd all be doing it, wouldn't we? None of us have got a clue. There's like, do keto, do low fat, do high this, do like we're all take this supplement, do this, have, I don't know, gojo berries or whatever they're called. It's like we're all really confused. There's so much conflicting information out there, and I suppose it's a case of finding out what works for you, isn't it? Really, I've got one of my friends, she can eat loads of carbs, like she lives on pasta and never gains a pound. She's a really healthy weight. Me, I've got to look at a bowl of pasta and I've put on half a stone, honestly. So I think it's just about sometimes who we are and what our metabolism is doing at the time, maybe, I don't know. So you go through a bit of a check, then you give someone this is what you should be doing, and is that like a bespoke to them, or is that a kind of this is what everyone should be doing? How does it work?
So if you're coming for one-to-one, then everything is bespoke to you. Everybody has a different constitution, they have a different health history. So, my health history has chronic fatigue in it, it has, so everybody's different. And that health history starts from where you breastfed, so that we do like a timeline, because whether you're breastfed or not impacts your health into adulthood.
Wow, really? Oh, we could talk about this stuff forever. I know I wasn't breastfed. So what does that mean? What does that mean then?
Well, it means it will have impacted on your gut flora and your microbiome, so the good, bad bacteria in your gut. So colostrum, which is the very first, it's like thick yellow stuff that comes before the milk, that's there to seal the lining of the gut, so it's no longer porous. So babies are born with a sterile gut and it's leaky, and the colostrum coats it and seals it, and then you get the breast milk, and it's got all the good stuff in it.
Basically, I haven't been sealed properly, is what you're saying. So I've possibly been leaking for 49 years because I've never sealed myself up. But messed myself up quite a lot. How fascinating.
Well, the body is very clever, but and colostrum is also a massive boost of immunity as well. It's a really big immune boost. So your body does compensate a lot. So don't freak out because you weren't breastfed. But it's the microbiome, there's so much research into it. So when I've got, say, I see quite a lot of kids with asthma, eczema, hay fever. Those three conditions are really linked to your microbiome, and whether you were breastfed and what age you were weaned, and there's food intolerance in that picture as well. So and we know that actually there's a lot of studies on weight and the microbiome, and they are trialing, you'll like this one, fecal transplants for obese people. So they've studied it in mice, and they're now trialing it in humans, that there are some mice that are obese and some mice that are not. And when they do a fecal transplant from the normal's not the right word, mouse to the obese mouse, then it really helps with their weight.
Interesting, fascinating, isn't it?
It is fascinating.
It's as fascinating as mine. Between us, we absolutely love it all, don't we? We can sit and talk about this forever. But I know that we can't, and actually people probably not quite as interested as we are. Everybody wants to know about themselves, don't they? And I know, I coach, and I've got lots of friends and people that I know that are coaches around your physical appearance and your wardrobe and everything, and they'll spend lots of money on making sure they look good, but then finding out what's going on with their body, like the inner working that changes. You know, you've only got to, I know when I start to eat crap, my skin goes to shit, honestly, it really does. And I, you know, so we could spend all this time on skincare and making our face nice, but actually if we put loads of rubbish in, it's not going to help, is it? So so I know you've got an offer or something for your program that the people that are listening and watching will be able to go, oh yeah, that's for me. So tell us about that, and then the link will be under here for anybody that wants to have a look. And obviously they can generally have a reach out and chat to you and book a call and just find out what's going on, because not everybody wants to come to groups. Some people, they want to come and do the work one-to-one. I know that from my own experiences. So what is it? What's your thing? What's going on?
So so there's various ways to work with me. I have a self-study program which you can do. It's called Crush Your Cravings. Crush Your Cravings in 7 days, which nobody ever believes is going to happen, and then it does. And that's like a fundamental piece to eating healthily. And so people come to that because they want to crush their cravings and lose weight. And then when they realize actually they're no longer craving sugar and crisps and junk, they're like, oh, hang on a minute, this is really different. Now I am in control of what I'm eating. So it really makes a huge difference to, you know, not just your weight, but also the ability to eat healthily, because you're no longer being ruled by those cravings.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So self-study 7, lovely, nice,
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. And then there's the Nourish Club. So the Nourish Club is my group program for perimenopausal business owners who want to nourish their bodies and their business.
Is that online or in person? What is that?
It's online. Yeah. So since COVID, I only work online, and it works really well, actually. And it is. We've got our heads around, as people who work online, how to foster that one-to-one interaction between your group members and create a real community, haven't we? Because it's possible in Zoom, in breakout rooms, as well as in your interactive Facebook groups and all of that. So it very much has that member-to-member support as well as my support. So it's the Nourish Club is a program where you come in and you do there's a basic module that everybody does, and it's saying, like, here is the healthiest diet for every aspect of your health and stress levels and energy that anybody can have. This is where we all start. For many people, that's all they need to lose weight and increase their energy. Some people then need to tweak it, and you only know when you've done it, basically. Okay. So it's finding out what works for you. And then from there, people can go where they want to go. So it might be emotional eating, or it might be stress. So stress is a big theme. Stress and overwhelm runs through the whole Nourish Club because it's such a big thing for business owners. We never finish our to-do lists, and, you know, we expect enormous amounts of ourselves on a daily basis, don't we? Yeah. So it's learning to navigate through that. Navigate through life and business without it making you eat loads or not eat, or drink way too much caffeine and not sleep, and then you're doing it all running on empty.
Caffeine never catch me drinking too much. You know what? I never used to drink caffeine at all until I met my wife, and now we drink coffee all morning and then it stops. It's like literally, it's how we get fueled. Not saying it's good, but it does feel like the only vice I really have left, if I'm honest. But I know I'll be better without it. But well, it's all very interesting. We can't cover everything, obviously, with this interview, but hopefully, if you're listening or watching this, you've got a taste of a taste of what the fantastic Sara does. I know you run a clinic as well, so people can come in and Q&A and free groups and things. So if you are interested and you want to get yourself sorted, then go and get sorted with Sara. Oh, look, there's a new little thing there for you. And you know, she will listen. She gives a lot of stuff for free. I know that all of her articles are really interesting, and not just from this is how you're going to feel, but the actual science behind it, which I think we need to know why, don't we? We can't just fix things. We want to know why we broke it in the first place. It's a really fascinating dichotomy of the human mind. So thank you so much for coming.
Sorry to interrupt you, Viv, because one of the big free offerings that I have is my recipe service, so Recipes to Nourish. So it is recipes for perimenopausal women written by a naturopath, so they are truly healthy. So it's, you know, it's about, you know, you get a weekly recipe with some interesting, you know, telling you why it's actually good for you. And
how have I not got this in my inbox? What has happened? What has gone wrong in our relationship? I should have this.
Yeah, you should have this. You definitely should have this, because it's really time to stop, you know, taking advice from nutritional advice from friends and slimming club franchise owners with no nutritional education. It's time to find something that helps you eat right for your life stage, basically, and that's perimenopause, and it's different to other life stages.
Funny, because when you said about your 7-day program, I was thinking you should sell that into all these slimming clubs. They should have that as a giveaway. You need to have a chat with them, because then they would be giving real nutritional advice, as long as it doesn't conflict with anything they're saying or doing, which it possibly doesn't. Who knows? But anyway, just a little business coaching. We can't help saying have a little chat with them. Might be a nice little intro into them. But lovely. Okay, cool. Yes, I'd like that, please. So please add my. I'll send. When you send me the link, I'm going to add it onto mine. So who doesn't want that? And I want to say a big thank you for coming, as always, here today, and I look forward to being helped more, because as I'm going further into perimenopause, more little symptoms are arriving. So I think there comes a time where we can't just put up with it. I think, you know, you said at the beginning about you noticing, like, I've got a bad back here because I haven't slept quite well, so, and that's because of something I probably eaten last night. So there's a whole load of stuff that changes. I've definitely got an allergy to something, and I think I've put it down to orange food colouring. Not flavouring, colouring. When Emma was 40, I got her a cake, and it was like for Halloween, and it was a Reese's cake, but carrot cake. So the carrot cake itself probably would have been fine, but it was orange icing, and I had a slice of that and came up in hives. So I definitely know that I never used to be allergic to that. So all sorts of things change, don't they? So if you've got changes going on, or you're not sure, or you just know that you need to sort yourself out, go and have a chat with someone. That's my advice, definitely. I know anybody that's worked with her has always strongly recommended her, so I recommend you. And I'm sure you recommend yourself. So here we are. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you for being here. And I will look forward to hearing more about everything that goes on in the club.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Viv.
Bye.
Bye.